Good morning everyone, my name is Connor Heeney and I'm presenting on behalf of ESA ESRIN. I'll be taking you through ESA's Earth observation capacity development activities across Asia, covering our work in the Philippines, ASEAN and South Asia, along with the next steps. So we'll start by briefly covering our flagship program in the Philippines called CoP. The program has two core objectives, both of which are aligned with the Philippines National Development Plan. The first is to protect the integrity of natural ecosystems and livelihoods against climate and hazard threats. And the second is to strengthen the use of Copernicus Earth observation data for government decision making and policy monitoring. And it's been implemented by ESA under a contribution agreement with DG INTPA and is guided by a steering committee that includes the Philippines government, specifically PhilSA, and the Department of Science and Technology, along with EU delegations and DEFIS. And so as you can see, the program has a total budget of 7.3 million euros and is running from 2023 to 2026, but we do have an extension planned. And as you can see, we currently have two procurements in place involving 12 companies across 9 ESA and EU member states, as well as the Philippines. So 2025 was a very active year, and I'll highlight a few key moments. So first of all, during the Philippines Space Week, we held the graduation ceremony for CoP training classes, which was a major milestone in local capacity building. And then at the Asia Pacific Regional Space Agencies Forum, PhilSA and CoP had a dedicated booth, and the program was highlighted by the President of the Philippines himself, which speaks to the national level visibility that we've achieved. We also participated in the EU Copernicus Youth Challenge in collaboration with DG INTPA, SP and SJAC, which engaged the next generation of EU practitioners. And then most importantly, we completed the co-development of 5 Earth observation services, which are now in the mainstreaming phase and are being integrated into operational government workflows. So building on the success of CoP, we are now scaling up our approach across the ASEAN region through the EU ASEAN Sustainability Connectivity Package, a global digital initiative. And the program has 2 objectives. The first is to pilot EO services to ASEAN member states by scaling the CoP model, and the second is to adapt 2 existing CoP pilot services for transfer to Indonesia and Thailand. And our key stakeholders include DG INTPA, EEAS, EU delegations and DG DEFIS at the European level, and then at the national level, PhilSA in the Philippines, the Geoinformatics and Space Technology Development Agency in Thailand, and the National Research and Innovation Agency, BRIN, in Indonesia, alongside relevant national ministries. And so ESA is the implementing partner with a total budget of 4 million euros for the period 2025 to 2027. Okay. This slide gives you a sense of what the early phase of this work looks like in practice, where we've been conducting scoping missions and stakeholder engagement with GISTDA in Thailand and BRIN in Indonesia. And so we attended the Living Plan Symposium in 2025, of course, where we formalized some partnerships. And we've also been engaging at the ASEAN level, including with the AHA Center, and participating in regional Earth observation partnership events, as you can see. And so our methodology is very much centered around co-designing, and so we work alongside national agencies to ensure the services that we developed are genuinely useful and operationally relevant with regards to each country's context and priorities. So moving to our newest program, we are launching a major new initiative, which is in South Asia, focused on disaster risk reduction and climate services. And the objective is to reduce the impact of climate change and natural hazard risks across the South Asia region by strengthening regional capacities in the use of Earth observation and climate services. And so this is delivered under a contribution agreement with DG INTPA, with ESA and the CDRI, which is the Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, as joint implementing partners. And so the program covers 7 South Asian countries, which are Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. And so the total budget for this is 12 million euros, with 7 million euros delegated directly to ESA. And so the implementation period runs from 2026 to 2029. In terms of the expected outcomes that we have, the program targets two main areas. The first is policy and dialogue, where we aim to strengthen regional cooperation, policy dialogue, and awareness around disaster risk reduction and climate change adaptation, including the use of EO data to inform national adaptation plans in South Asian countries. The second is Earth observation and mainstreaming, to enhance the availability, access, and integration of tailored spatial information from European EO systems to support disaster risk reduction and climate adaptation activities in priority sectors. And so a key element of this is our partnership with the CDRI, which is a global coalition committed to strengthening infrastructure resilience, and it has 51 member countries and 10 partner organizations, including the UNDRR and the World Bank. And so now let me briefly close with the next steps in the near future. So in terms of in the near term, we are planning a large capacity development component, which includes trainings, workshops, events, and challenges across our active programs. We are also actively looking to extend our EO capacity development activities to the Pacific and Central Asia. And then at the strategic level, we are working on an IPC paper for 3 capacity development facilities. So extending the EO Africa, establishing a new EOCD facility in Asia, and also a new EOCD facility in Latin America and the Caribbean. And so this exemplifies the significant expansion of ESA's global EO development footprint within Asia, and we look forward to discussing how to shape these next steps with partners like yourselves. Thank you very much.